Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Seraph Syndrome. I am your host and DM, Danny, also known as Fungifisheye, and you'll hear the latter yelled at me really loud, maybe. I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts, if you guys would love to say hi.
Hello, I'm Noelle. I play Stella Star Weaver.
Hello, I'm Tiny, and I play Akia Selene.
And with that, let us get right into the recap. On the last episode of Seraph Syndrome, we continued to follow behind Akia as she led the way. Akia decided to pay a visit to the Queen of the Millifera's memorial, offering prayers alongside Arteno, whilst the remaining party admired the beautiful scenery. After they offered their respects, Akia ushered the party upwards to the higher levels of Leydin for some shopping on Stella's behalf. As they climbed, roaring echoes and churning of Ralurn stone escaped above ground, giving the same nauseating feeling of what lurks below. As they arrived at the local magic shop, they perused for a possible gift for the ailing Stella. Akia put her best foot forward and bought Stella a magical ear cuff that heightens the user's hearing abilities. As Mothia, on the other hand, offered to pay for anything the party could desire, and thus each member acquired a gift for themselves, besides a grim. Arteno picked out a moonlit sword, Akia picked out a shell crest, and Gully acquiring an entire magical arm that has been sitting in storage for quite a while. Whilst our heroes were leaving the shop, another roar from the earth rumbled the entire city of Leydin. As rocks fell, beings formed of ichor bearing a sharp resemblance to Vaku bore through the earth. Screams echoed from all across the expansive city as homes tumbled to the ground and shops were being terrorized. The party up top faced the danger while an ongoing battle rages on beneath. Now, I am going to reiterate from the top what the situation is. While Akia, Igrim, Gully, Arteno, and Asmothia fought these threats, you did not clear the entirety of the top level. Where you guys are is still in danger. You hear screams emanating from buildings and homes as worms are boring into them and terrorizing the nearby settlement. But we will get to that. For now, we pan to Stella. Stella, you, as you said before, you are rushing out of the royal bath, throwing on whatever clothes you can, and probably not able to put your boots on that smooth.
No.
They are like thigh high. That ain't going on wet skin, girl.
I'll go in barefoot.
And as you do, what would you like to do as you hear all of this roaring panic? The door is like pushed ajar. As you are standing there soaking wet, you would see that there is an ongoing battle between various three Kreen soldiers of this army and these Icarus-looking miniature versions of Vaku.
Okay. I kind of pause as I assess the situation. As I kind of take in what's happening, I kind of realize the position I'm in, being kind of alone in this situation right now. I'm going to look around and see if there's anything, like a weapon around or something that I can use as like a melee weapon.
Within the castle?
Yes.
Okay. As you stand in the hall of the castle, roll me a perception or investigation check. Either one. I would say more so investigation. Roll me investigation, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is a pretty standard investigation. It could be a perception. Never mind. You don't. It doesn't even fucking matter.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Okay, absolutely. You see that there are various, like, suits of 3 green armor. They're these, like, weird-looking plate armor that kind of just looks like their flesh again, but they, like, put it over top their flesh. It's kind of like they already look armored up, but this is, like, more. You would definitely see that there is... in each of their hands, you see, like, a pole arm. You see one with a short sword at its side. You see one with, like, a great sword.
Okay. I'm not sure which one I would really be good at.
What are your weapon proficiencies? Because with the dirty 20, I'll let you have your pick.
It just says simple weapons.
So that would be your short swords. I would say go for a short sword.
Okay.
You have a pretty good
I'll
deck
take the
stat,
short
right?
sword. No. Not really.
What's your dex? What's your
10?
dex? That's that's
Plus 0?
That's that's rough. Okay, here's what I'll let you do. When you go to your manage inventory, you can filter weapons and then click proficient. You can pick anything out of that list. You probably want to go with something more dexterous.
Great, okay.
Or her strength is worse, from what I know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, how should I do that?
A dagger would probably be the best. Or a scimitar. That's classic druid. I believe scimitars are simple weapons, unless I'm
Maybe.
not smart.
I don't know how to tell if it is.
Hey, Google.
No, not a simple weapon. It's not a simple weapon. Just go with a short sword. Let's be safe, go with the short sword. Let's run that.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Got it.
You grab this ornate short sword off of one of these armored figures. You have to pry it off the handle, but that's pretty easy. And you pull it out of the sheath. You see the blade is intricately carved, almost looking like the interlocking scales of Vaku. This being a knightly weapon of this kingdom.
Okay. I just admire it for a split second before immediately running towards the battle.
Absolutely. You rush to the ongoing battle, and you see swarms of these Icarus wormlings. They are writhing through the floor as they dig their way up, and they're moving at this nauseating pace as they are swarming in groups and bundles and fighting the 3 Kreen. They seem to be attacking people like jumping them, like 3 for 1.
Oh, okay. How many would you say there are?
An unquantifiable amount.
Okay, great.
It is at least, like, I would say, like, the swarm is damn near 200 of them.
Oh my god!
Just here.
Oh my god. Okay.
But you see as some of them are even writhing up to the next levels as you hear the cacophony of screams echoing from the areas above Leydin.
Okay. I am going to try something a little new. I am going to cast Green Flame Blade on the sword, but instead of a green flame, it's this bright, like... I don't really know how to describe it. What's starry fire?
Most times I see it, you could do, like, Stella's base colors, almost having, like, flare out like a cosmos.
Ooh.
Like this brilliant blue with sparkles flickering in the flames.
Yes, okay. and I will kind of play this physical role at the same time, kind of making up for what I lack right now.
Absolutely.
I hope this goes well.
Let's hope so. Let's roll initiative. Stella, it will only be you for now. And the three
Right.
Crane army, obviously.
So, is there an initiative, or do I just...
Oh, yeah, roll
Okay.
initiative, please.
Ooh, 17?
Ooh. Beautiful, beautiful. You are actually going to be acting first on your turns. So, I am going to zoom out of this situation for a second to explain how this combat specifically is going to work. A roaring battle is raging before you, Stella. An army of slithering wormlings rip and tear into an army of foot soldiers right next to you. As far as you can see, the battles have broken down into small skirmishes and individual pockets of violence as the armies have no one to command them. From what you know, Arkvasi is far somewhere else, and any leading force of this army, gone. So, your side, the army of Leydin, is at a disadvantage because not only do they have no one to lead them, but they are also acting on their own and unprepared, as this was completely out of nowhere. I have grouped up the Icarus Wormlings and the Three Kreen into two separate groups. They all have these things called siege pools. These are massive amounts of damage that they will be dealing back and forth between each other as the armies dwindle each other down.
Ooh, okay.
What I will have you do is I will have you join these skirmishes, and once you hit a damage threshold, you will be able to sway the battle in your favor and in the army's favor. Slightly.
Okay. Cool.
So
Really
that's kind of the fundamentals of the combat. I will have you break into initiative now. Stella, you would see 3 of these Icarus Wormlings all jumping at one of these 3 Kreen soldiers. You see some other 3 Kreen soldiers that are on the floor bleeding and dying as you see their viscera is coming out of their cracked shells.
Oh my god.
It is a horrifying sight as you see these worms are diving in and out of this violence. All right. What would you like to do?
God. Okay. So I'm assuming, does casting the spell, like, hurt?
Does it... Okay. Since you want to bring that up, yes, absolutely, it is painful. Let's rewind. You said that Stella was getting up no matter the pain. Stella, you actually feel your body being pulled apart in different directions as you try to move it in a nimble and agile way. Your body has had no time to heal. You are moving on like 4 hours of rest, 5 if you count, or let's say roughly 6 of just like 2 hours sitting in the bath. You are rough. I am going to have you roll me a Constitution saving throw right now, Stella.
Okay.
I was gonna make you do this later, but I will just have you do it now.
Whoops. That's a 4.
Stella, your back begins to ache in a very different pain. It squeezes. It feels like your shoulder blades are like grinding against your inner flesh in a rough way.
Okay. And
That's all I will say for now.
okay, in that case, I'm probably more staggering than anything.
Yes, you are absolutely staggering.
Okay.
I won't have you roll with disadvantage. You're already drained of mana, so I'll let you be.
Right, and I have
physically.
exhaustion.
And you have exhaustion. The exhaustion still counts. You are going to be acting with a -2 to all your attacks.
Okay. Okay, I guess I'm going to attack the first wormling I see. Just gonna try to help bring down the numbers even a little bit.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Can I add guidance? I don't know, since I've already used a cantrip, I don't know if I can do that.
No,
Okay.
you can't cast 2
That's fine.
cantrips in one turn. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm going to try to take from what I've seen and swing with this short sword, straining my whole body. 19!
Holy shit! Stella's first attack in the entire campaign. Besides the first session, but this is your first one of your own volition. Stella, you raise your blade, it shines, you feel it imbued with the power of the stars as fate guides your blade, sailing it into the Icarus Wormling. Roll your damage.
Alright.
I believe if you're using Green Flame Blade, you can roll the Green Flame Blade damage and the short sword sword.
So the piercing damage from the short sword goes to the first enemy, and then the
Gotcha.
flame damage goes to a second enemy.
Beautiful. Roll them for me.
So that's 3 piercing damage.
All right.
And that's
And
6
6
damage.
more.
Oh my god. Okay.
Stella, as you swing into one of the Icarus wormlings in front of you, you slash into its body. You notice that it does feel like Icar. This seems to be, there's no flesh. When you see the Seraphs, when you've seen people attack them, there is flesh. There is body. There is no body here. This is raw Icar. It slides through the squishy body of the Icarus wormling, and the flame explodes outwards, rushing to another Icarus wormling. Is that the end of your turn, or can you make another attack? Because you might have 2 attacks.
I don't believe so. It says I only have 1.
Okay, then you only have 1.
Alright, then, yes, that will be the end of my turn.
All right, so right now we have made not much progress in the battle. So this is what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have both of you do this. One of you is going to roll for the Icarus Wormling, and the other is going to roll for the 3 Crane.
Oh.
Whoever gets higher on this contested dice roll, I will have that side do the damage. If you guys would like to roll for me. You can decide who's who. Because this is out of my hands.
I guess, yeah, so we can't blame you. I guess I'll do the 3 Crane, because I'm on their side right now.
All right, Tiny, act as the villain for me. Roll, both of you roll a d20.
Uh-oh. Oh my god!
Shit!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Happier to roll solo.
Okay, that was a 3 from the side of the Icarus Wormlings, and that was an 8 from the side of the 3 Cranes. So, the siege pool of the army of Leydin is 3d10. And I will roll that up right in front of the table so you guys can see how much damage they do. That is going to be... That was a pretty good roll. Woo! That's 18. All right. That is going to be the end of the siege round. That is going to go to your turn again, Stella. For the viewers, this could be an interesting thing to do. Last session, we left off with Arkvasi saying that he was going to dive down to the layers below along with Allegain. You would... As we pan upwards through the giant crevice of Leydin, as we pan over to the brightly lit hole within the middle of Leydin, we see as Arkvasi skyrockets downwards, almost whistling as he's going down, the speed being immense as he comes to your aid. Stella, that is your turn.
Oh, Arkvasi.
You would not see that. That is far, far away.
Oh, okay. Right, so I am going to, I guess, use my short sword again. Seeing as these things are fully made of ichor, I can't say I really feel bad.
No guilt echoes in your heart.
That's a 2.
However, your blade technically a 0. Because of your -2 to hit.
Great, okay. Right, yeah, okay.
Remember the exhaustion. You go to slash into the Icarus Wormling. As your blade, you are slashing kind of at like loose pockets of these Icarus Wormlings. You see as they are moving like around you very quickly. They are very hard to pinpoint. You see as 3 of them lock their gaze to you, the 3 that you've been attacking. Does Green Flame Blade still proc if you don't hit, or is it only if you hit?
I believe it's only if I hit.
Okay. Would you say that's the end of your turn?
Yeah, I guess seeing as this is not working for me, and I am very much at a disadvantage using this weapon, I'm gonna throw it to the side of me and just say, screw it. I'm just gonna use my magic, but I, deactivate the Green Flame Blade spell.
As the sword clatters against the floor, as you throw it aside in frustration, you see as the flames dispel, and you are left there with only the magic coursing through your body, or what little remains. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Alright, the Icarus Wormlings are going to attack you. So, these Icarus Wormlings have an ability that is called Hive Mind. If these creatures are moving within the same proximity, if they're acting in 5 feet of each other, which these 3 are that are attacking you, they are going to get advantage on every single one of these swings. So, the first one, they only get 1 attack each. 8 to hit, does not hit.
No.
The second roll, that's a nat 20.
Okay.
So that is going to be that's going to be 7 damage plus an additional 3.
Okay.
And the last one is going to roll, and that is going to be a 9 to hit, which I believe does not hit.
No, that does not.
All right. That is going to be the end of their turn. That is going to now go to the seed round. Once again, Caro, as you're acting as my villains, roll me d20. And Noelle, roll me your d20 for the 3 cream.
God damn it.
I got a 7.
a 7, and a 5. So, okay, as we are... So that is going to be the wormlings rolling. There is much more of them. There is a larger number of them. This is going to be rough. I am going to roll 5d10 in front of the table. That is going to be 19 damage to the army of the 3 Kreen. You see as forces become slowly weakened, you see as they are picking off more and more of these 3 Kreen. They are like gnawing at metal armor, thrashing around, and completely flinging these 3 Kreen around, to say least. That is going to be the end of their turn. Alright, that is going to go to Arkvasi. Arkvasi currently plummeting. You would see... I mean, I don't think you would be looking out for him, really, Stella.
No.
But Arkvasi begins to descend down to the final level of Leydin. You see as he hovers, looking downwards at the battlefield, and as Arkvasi touches down on the ground, he pulls out 2 weapons. That's all he will get to do on this turn. That is going to go to your turn, Stella.
Okay. Wait, question. Is the star streak my star map? Is that what counts as my star map?
No.
Okay, cool.
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
On one of these wormlings.
What level spell is this?
First.
Perfect. Absolutely. Go for it. That was so close to a nat 20. But a dirty 20 is crazy. You're absolutely hitting. Roll that damage for me.
Even with like the -2 and stuff, it's still all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. You fire this streaking bolt of starlit energy as it... Wait, actually, what do you want this to look like as you do this?
I kind of just imagine like forming this ball of energy in my hands and just kind of launching it out.
All right. All right, perfect. You launch out this ball of energy. It streaks from your hand and it flies into this Icarus wormling. You see as it slams it down on the ground. You see as it explodes, as its innards that are made of ichor splatter across the floor and slowly Actually, it just sits there. It just sits there. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, after I do that, I think I just kind of look around the battlefield to see what else is happening, if people are going down.
You would see that a great deal of the 3 Kreen army is still up. They are still fighting the good fight. There are, of course, some casualties. You see bodies littering the floor. You see smoke rising as this battle rages on. The distant clanks of metal as they miss strikes, as they take strikes, as they land strikes. This battle seems to be very back and forth right now. But you guys are gaining ground.
All right. That's the end of my turn.
All right, that is going to go to the siege round. Or actually, that's going to go to the Icarus wormlings that are attacking you. So that is going to be 3 more attacks on you, Stella, with advantage. The first is, that was a really low roll. 12, doesn't hit?
That does hit.
That does hit. All right, you are only going to take 4 damage.
Okay.
I will roll again. That is going to be an 11 to hit. That doesn't hit, right?
That does it.
That does it?
Yes.
Damn! Maybe you need a shell crest. Okay.
Shoot, I guess.
6. That is going to be 6 damage. All right. That is going to be
I swear.
a nat 20.
Oh my god.
Stella, you are going to take 7 damage total as this Icarus wormling jumps into the air as it spins and corkscrews. It lunges into your flesh and it opens its mouth in your skin, ripping it apart. That is going to be the end of... Oh wait, now is going to go to the siege turn. All right, so we have done a hefty amount of damage to both sides. Roll for me, guys.
No. Where are you doing?
Oh my god.
On. No.
All right, so
16.
with that, the Icarus wormlings are still going to prevail in this attack. I'm going to roll 5d10. That is going to be 20 damage. Damn.
Jesus Christ.
So, that is... It hasn't dropped the morale. The morale of the army is still going strong, but you see as bodies are beginning to drop, and those numbers are beginning to pile up of the deceased 3 cream. All right. So, it is going to go to Arkvasi's turn. Arkvasi is now on the battlefield. You see as he pulls out these 2 hook-like weapons that almost look like praying mantis's arms. And you see as he clangs them together and he lets out a roar as he notifies the army that he is here. I am here, Arkvasi, and I am ready to fight by your sides. Give your life for Leydin, or live another day. And Arkvasi is going to rush forwards and make 2 attacks on some of the army around him. Holy shit. That is going to hit. That is also going to hit. That is 2 back-to-back 24s. And,
oh my god.
Arkvasi is going to use his bonus action to use a shimmering stab. And that is going to be a 16, which absolutely hits. So let me roll up all that damage. That's 17. Oh my god.
17?
Hold up. That is 17 plus 6, which is going to be 23 damage total. As you see Arkvasi runs through the crowd. You see as he twists his blade, contorting them in these, insane ways. He kicks up dust as he flies and runs through the crowd, decapitating multitudes of these Icarus wormlings with this lightning-fast speed. Arkvasi alone has dropped them to a degree where they're going to be doing less damage
oh my god.
as they lose a siege dice. That is going to go to Stella. That's you.
How many are still in front of me?
There is I'm just gonna tell you this straight up. There are multitudes of them on this battlefield, and they are coming and going and screaming and alerting, and 3 more come as soon as 3 of them are done.
Okay, I guess I mean are the ones that were attacking me still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. They
Right.
are just
Okay.
repeatedly showing up in front of you.
Okay. I am going to use Cure Wounds on myself.
All right.
I'm going to get back 14 health.
Okay. That's 14 back to you. Is that the end of your turn?
Let me see. Is there anything else I can do? Okay, are there any more, like, blunt weapons or sticks that are, like, laying around?
Absolutely, yes. There are pole arms just littering the floor.
Alright.
You see, that's one of the easiest weapons to train for the 3 Kreen.
Cool. I'm going to pick one up, and I'm going to cast Shillelagh.
You reach over, you rush next to one of these dying 3 Kreens, and you pick up their weapon.
Oh god. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do right now.
Alright, is that the end?
Unless... So is this 3 Kreen still alive, or are they just dead?
Dead. Just dead.
Okay. No, that's the end.
Alright. That is going to go to the Icarus Wormlings that are chasing you down and ready to fight you.
Oh, brother.
That is a dirty 20 to hit. That is a 8 to hit.
Okay.
And that is a 10 to hit. So only one of those strikes go through.
Yes, okay.
Alright, that's 6 damage to you, Stella.
Alright.
And some of these, I'm going to roll 3 strikes against Arkvasi as well. Because he is also in the fray now. That is a 19 to hit. That is a nat 1.
Oh,
That's
thank
a
God.
4.
Yes.
And that is going to be a 15 to hit. That looked like it landed on 2. So one of them is going to land. Because Arkvasi's AC is 16.
Okay.
That is going to be 2 damage to Arkvasi as while he is running and slashing up parts of this crowd, one of these stray wormlings slash against his carapace, giving him a small scratch. All right, that is the siege round. So, both of you, if you would like to roll me the d20.
Oh, okay. Okay. 16?
16? All right. You have to roll under a 16.
There.
Ooh! That meets. So, what we're gonna have to do is do a reroll.
Oh, God.
Re-roll it. That's a 13 and a 16 again. So that is going to be 4d10 from the side of the wormlings.
Make it stop.
Oh, my God.
29 damage as they reduce the pool of the 3 Kreens by 1. So they're on 2d10 siege damage. You see as great numbers of the 3 Kreen are beginning to fall as morale drops low. You see some of them are abandoning their weapons and running away as far as they can, even though there is no running from this horde. All right. That is going to go to... Did I roll for the wormlings?
Yes. Yes, you
I did roll for the wormlings. That is going to go to Arkvasi's turn. Arkvasi is going to roll 3 attacks again. First one, 21. Second one, 15, which is still going to hit. And the third one is an 11, which incidentally is going to hit. So all 3 attacks land. That's a 10 damage, plus 9 damage, plus 6 damage. Okay. All right, Arkvasi deals another heavy, devastating blow to the Icarus wormlings as he runs through the field again. You see as he stabs his hook below them, he throws some of them into the air and slices them back down with one fell movement. You see as he's doing flips as he's spinning through the army. Stella, that's your turn.
I think I am kind of starting to feel the same sense of helplessness that I felt back in the Torre. And I'm sweating and my body is horribly aching. But I shakily hold on to my weapon and I am going to... So, if I have actions and bonus actions, even if they're both spells, could I still use both of them?
Yes, if they're both spells, if the cantrip or the spell is a bonus action, you can use them in tandem.
Okay, cool. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt again.
Okay.
Oh, 21.
All right, that is going to hit. Roll me damage. Whew.
13 damage.
13 damage. Another divisive blow as you see you launch this guiding bolt into the crowd of these Icarus wormlings, and you see as this plume of starry light explodes outwards, killing a few of the Icarus wormlings.
Okay. Then... Right, Shillelagh's a bonus action to cast, not to use.
A bonus action to cast and then an action to use.
Okay. So... In that case, I guess that's the end of my turn.
All right.
Yes. Yes. Wait, actually... I'm going to assume my starry form. I feel like I am in a corner. I'm going to push myself and I'm going to assume the form of the chalice.
Constitution saving throw. This DC is very hard.
12?
Do you want to use... You can't use guidance on this, right? Do you want to use your heroic inspiration?
Oh god. What is this gonna do to me? Shoot! Yeah, I'll do it.
Roll it again.
Okay. Oh! Dirty 20. Oh!
Unfortunately, the DC was 25. You couldn't have... I did not know you didn't have the modifier to roll that. And that is my apologies.
Okay.
Stella, as you
It's been
go
nice.
to assume your starry form, you feel something in your body begin to boil. It doesn't feel... boiling is kind of the wrong word. I would say shift. Acclimate? As you force arcane energy to flow through your veins in this way, in this altering way, in this way that changes the form, your body, your back begins to ache again. Your shoulder blades sting. They hurt. You fall over to the floor in pain. Stella, your skin begins to tear, rip, split open on your back. As your skin splits open, you feel something climb out of your skin.
What? What are you talking about? What is happening?
As you look back behind you to see what emerged from your flesh, you see puddles of ichor running down your side. And then you see two wings covered in blood and golden ichor splitting from your back.
Oh, God.
Whatever has happened seems to have sped up your seraphic transformation.
Oh, God. I feel horrified as I see these wings that have now sprung from my back. And all I want, all I'm thinking is that I just don't want any more people to die. And now I feel the fear of losing myself as well. How can I help people if I'm dead? How can I help my family if I'm dead? Oh, God.
As you feel the terror of transforming, the terror of losing your life actively, as these wings, a sign of an angel, rip across your back as they fan out gently, as you have a new appendage. We are going to get back to this
Okay.
as we cut over to the rest of the party. Akia, as you are standing there recovering from the battle that you've just gone through, that you are just actively going through, you have just cleared a crowd, you have seen Arkvasi fly away, and you are standing there in streets swarming with violence. What would you like to do
There's
as of now?
still battle going around, right?
Oh, tons of ichor wormlings have clawed their way up to this level and are actively doing battle with civilians.
She's probably gonna want to help out fight against them to not see people hurt.
All right. I will have you roll initiative.
Oh, okay, that's a 7.
That's a 7. All right. Give me one moment. All right. So we are going to be in 2 initiative brackets. I will roll initiative for everyone else here. Wow, Grim rolls good on initiative for once.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank God.
From here, I'm going to be doing a dual initiative system. So, meaning I'm going to be rolling every round. We are going to swap to the next initiative until you both have cleared out the levels of Leydin.
Okay.
All right, that is the most fitting roll I've ever seen for little Asmothea.
Oh, what was it?
That is a 3.
Oh,
that was a
no
3.
baby.
Asmothea quivers. That's also very fitting for Gully, because Gully also rolled a 3. And Arteno rolled... Let me roll for him.
Arteno do good. Everybody else is second. Just up a Grim.
A 4.
Guys.
No, we're so fucked.
Okay. Starting off our initiative, as there are hundreds and hundreds of these wormlings on the attack. That is going to go to a Grim's turn. A Grim is going to go forwards into one of these buildings and try to defend the people inside. With Roseblood, he is going to be able to strike twice. 13 damage and an additional 9 damage. Woof! A Grim!
Big Papa,
So,
yeah.
The way this is going to work is different from how it's going to work for Stella. Instead, these Ichor wormlings are all going to make attacks on you guys as they are swarming you. They are not going to get a siege action, but you guys are going to be attacked by them pretty ferociously. And that is my preface for this. But a Grim is putting a dent in them numbers. That is going to go to an unknown figure. That is... I will roll for them, actually. That is going to hit, and that is going to hit. That's a 14 damage, and then an additional 9.
Yes, yes,
my
yes,
God.
yes.
They are... Grim and this figure that you guys have not seen yet are clearing up. You see as a Grim launches 2 slashes towards a litany of these Icarus beings. He decapitates them, he guts them, and he flings them around. And then in the distance, you hear... And then you see as a swarm of 3 or 4 of these Icarus wormlings fly into the air overhead and do spins across the ground before splatting against the floor. And that is going to go to the Icarus wormling's turn. Okay. The first attack is going to be against a Grim. I'm going to break them up pretty evenly against all of you. So that's a 5 against a Grim. Not going to hit. I will roll against the mystery figure. That's a nat 20.
No!
Hey guys, stop it.
That is going to be 8 damage towards the mystery figure. That is going to go... This next one is going to be at Little Asmothea. That is a 14 to hit, 17 technically. And that is going to be... Asmothea is down. Asmothea gets knocked the fuck out on the floor. You see as one of these Icarus wormlings spin through the ground. They dive down into the ground, come upwards, and spring into Asmothea's chest, knocking them backwards and splitting their shell. This next one is going to be against you, Akia. That is going to be a 9 to hit, which does not hit. Next one is going to be against Gully. That's a nat 20 against Gully. Holy fuck. Holy shit. 6 damage. Okay, that's 7 damage against Gully. Gully is doing alright. I will have to roll a intelligence saving throw to see if Gully can keep it together. The next one is going to be against Arteno. That is going to be an 18 to hit, which is absolutely going to hit Arteno's AC. That is going to be 2 damage to Arteno. Arteno tries to parry it as the best he can. Alright, Akia, that's you.
I'm doing Eldritch Blast.
Alright, roll it up.
Hit, okay. Yes! That's a dirty 20.
Ooh, thank God! That was so close!
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It was so close.
Yeah, absolutely hitting.
It was so close. It was so close. It was so close. 13. Damn!
Ooh!
I'll take it. I got 13.
Alright. 13 damage. You send your Eldritch Blast outwards into the crowd. What do you want this Eldritch Blast to look like?
Ooh. I kind of want it to be this big burst of like red and black energy kind of consuming their body in a sense.
You send out this blast. It swirls with this red and blackened hue. It's luminescent, but also devoid of light. It flings into some of these wormlings that were jumping down from the rooftops and attacking people. And you see as it engulfs the rooftop, and as the Icarus wormlings are hit by it, they slowly get evaporated within this blast. Is that the end of your turn?
Let me check. Bonus action. Yes.
All right. That is going to go to Arteno's turn. Arteno is going to wield his Moonlit Rapier. He runs in the opposite direction of a Grim. He goes to stab into one of these wormlings that is about to attack a child. And stabs into it. You see as Arteno stabs his rapier through its head, down its body, skewering it, and instantly killing this one. That is going to be the end of Arteno's turn. Actually, can Arteno do anything else? No. Arteno cannot do anything else. So, that will be the end of his turn. That is going to go to Gully's turn. Time to roll a wisdom. I'm going to keep it wisdom. I've been flopping between intelligence and wisdom. It's wisdom permanently now.
Ali, come on.
And that succeeds against the DC of 15. That he rolled a 17.
Oh, Gully, my boy.
Gully is perfectly in control and normal. And Gully goes, "Oh, goodness. I got a little Asmothia." And Gully slides downwards towards Asmothia, grabs them, and takes them behind a building corner to heal them. Gully is going to use a 2nd level spell of Cure Wounds. That is going to be 23 health back to little Asmothia.
Really, I love you.
All right. Gully enjoys being lucid, that's for sure.
Yes.
After Gully's turn is Asmothia's turn. You see as Gully pats Asmothia on the head. "It'll be okay. Maybe you shouldn't try to move too much, Asmothia. I don't want to see you get more harmed than this." And Asmothia goes, I'm on this battlefield as much as you are. Okay? I think I can fight. I know I can. I'm here to do it. But, Asmothia, I don't think you should push yourself any more, and you could seriously lose your life. You have a chance to lose your life as much as me. I'm not backing down. And Asmothea stands back up using the javelin as a crutch. And Asmothea stands up with wobbly knees and pushes pushes away from Gully and goes to attack, which hits.
Oh my god.
You see as Asmothea spots one of these Icarus wormlings about to get the jump on Gully and stabs into its head. You see as it squirms beneath the blade, still alive, but Asmothea does 6 damage to it, and that is the end of their turn. That is going to go to Grimm's turn. Grim is going to launch 2 more attacks at the wormlings. That hits. That's really low, but that hits. That's another really low roll. That's 2 10s, but they hit. That's 12 damage. And an additional 14 damage. You see as Igrim spirals his blade across the battlefield. You see as one by one he cleaves the head of them. He rushes forwards. You see as he even jumps through windows of shops to get to more to brutally kill them. As Roseblood finds and sinks its teeth into more and more of these wormlings. As you see Igrim doing these exhausting stunts, he rushes through the magic shop, kicks down the door, and steps on one of the Icarus wormlings that were about to attack the shopkeeper. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this floor falls silent. As you stand around, huffing and puffing, as this long drawn-out battle seems to have ceased. You can't see any more wormlings. The party is completely separated. You guys have ran away pretty far from each other, clearing and saving this town. But all is silent. Akia, you then hear dunk, 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 dunk. The sound of metal clanking.
Oh, really? She probably looks around to see where the noise is coming from.
You look around and, before you know it, a shadow is cast behind you.
Ooh! So I just see a giant shadow right in front of me.
Looming as tall as the buildings next to you.
You're kidding me. Oh, you're actively lying to me. Oh.
I am not.
Oh. I feel like ever so slowly she just turns around to see what it is, but you can see her slightly shaking.
You turn around slowly to face this giant shadow, and then you hear, "Wonderful! Well done! I saw those things that you were doing. The casting. Very, very well done." And you see this giant, large, and rough-looking Beetle 3 green. An exoskeleton that looks like rough stone with ridges and bumps. The back of her exoskeleton is thick and hulking like an iron shield across her back. You see she has this robust build, her body looking like it's sculpted out of marble with every show of strength and power. And, you see they put a firm hand on your shoulder.
Oh. Hello.
From what I understand, you are one of Arkvasi's friends. I could tell by the way you fight. I know Arkvasi to not be... he is not liking to weaklings. What is wrong? You seem to be quivering like a small, frail bug. That is no good. You see, they take a little bow and a knee, and almost they do a curtsy without wearing, like, much silk. Their body too big to wear, like, frilly clothes. But she does a little curtsy, and she goes, "My name is Voxy, the head of the 3rd Battalion, the Shield."
My name is Akia.
Akia, it is a pleasure to meet you. Come, we have more to do.
Okay. Alright.
Where is little Asmothia? And Asmothia raises their hand. But before we get into that, as you meet the wondrous Varxy, we have another battle to finish. Stella, that is going back to your turn.
I am just on the floor right now. I think there are just tears running down my face, not just from the excruciating pain that I'm going through, but also just thinking about all the people that are counting on me. And little Asmothia, I hug myself and I just go, "Stars above, please let me live just a little longer." And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
You cast Cure Wounds on yourself, repairing what damage the wings have opened up on your body.
Alright, that's 18 health back to me.
Come on.
All right. And that is the end of your turn?
Yes, I'm just going to try to pick myself back up.
All right. And I will be rolling to hit you as the wormlings smell blood and weakness in the water. That's a 6 to hit. That does not hit. That is an 11 to hit, which should not hit, right?
That does hit.
Oh!
That does hit. Okay. And
Shit.
that is a 21 to hit, which does hit. That is 5 damage to you, Stella. And I will roll another bit of damage. And that is 5 more. You take 10 total. And that is going to go to the siege round. Would you guys like to roll me those d20s?
Okay.
No. Not really. But I don't got a choice.
You fucking kidding me? You've
What if
gotta
I
be.
killed
What do you
myself?
gotta? You've gotta be. You've gotta be kidding me.
Okay. With that, I'm going to roll 4d10 against the armies of Leydin. Let me just make sure of something. Okay. They started with 5d6, right?
Yes, or... Yeah.
Yes, they did. So, with the help of Varkvasi, he's actually dropped so many of these against the floor that their pool has shrank down to 3d10.
Oh.
The battle is still neck and neck. But they still have their advantage. That is going to be 14 damage to the armies of the 3 Kreen. They are still holding in there, and they are still at 2d10. That is going to go to Arkvasi's turn. Arkvasi is going to roll his 3 strikes. As you hear Arkvasi roar in the distance, the clanking of metal and the sound of ripping and tearing of flesh. And a lightning stab. That is going to be a nat 1. That's the only one that's not going to hit. But that is going to be 8 damage plus an additional 13. Whew. And I believe with that, Arkvasi has dropped them another degree of... Oh no! They're 1 above the threshold. Okay. They're still at 3d10, but the battle is breaking even. Breaking even. That is going to go to a figure's turn. Doing it twice this battle. Stella, that's your turn.
Okay. Feeling maybe nearly the most hopeless I've ever felt in my life, I am going to use Shillelagh.
All right.
That's a 14.
14, absolutely hitting. Roll me your damage. 8 damage. You have dropped them another dice. They are at 2d10. The battle is equal.
Okay. It's looking a little better. I'm still in excruciating pain, but it's okay.
You got it.
Looking around, Stella, you see as the battlefield seems to be about even. There obviously is still more wormlings. There's tons of them. However, you see as the 3 Kreen are still standing and fighting. The number of people in this army is definitely dwindling. However, they are holding on to hope as they see Arkvasi fighting as hard as he can, and they see you, a complete stranger to their nation, fighting as hard as you can, despite your body being ravaged in pain. Your very being there seems to ignite an unruly hope within the surviving 3 Kreen, even as they step on the bodies of their own.
Okay.
Is that the end of your turn?
Wiping the tears from my eyes. Yeah, that's the end.
All right. That is going to go to the Icarus Wormling's turn. I'm going to roll 3 attacks against you, Stella. 19 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That is an 11 to hit, which does hit.
Oh,
And that's a 5 to hit, which doesn't hit.
what's
Okay.
better than nothing?
3 damage, Stella. And then 6 more damage. And that is the end of their turn collectively. Both of you, roll me a d20.
I am begging for a natural one. I'm begging
Please,
and
God.
begging and begging.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. Stella, you are going to be able to roll this with advantage because you are awe-inspiring to the troops along with Arkvasi. Both of your presences being there and Arkvasi's roaring tenacity is keeping this army afloat. Roll me that, as I am rolling attacks on Arkvasi, actually. Because I forgot to do that. 19.
Fight through the
9.
pain.
Okay, none of those attacks land on Arkvasi. So, that is going to be a 15 from Stella.
Oh
or
my God.
15 from Noelle.
And then
And
a
from
14.
Caro? That's a 14.
Thank God, thank
So,
God, thank God.
the 3 Kreen pull through. That is going to be 2d10 of these siege dice down on the Icarus Wormlings. That is 10 big old damage.
Oh my God.
For the first time, as you hear Arkvasi's roaring, as you hear him go, "Stand, my men! Stand and fight proud! Know that we fight alongside you!" You see as the 3 Kreen fight back so hard that for the first time this entire battle, there are less wormlings, less screaming in all of Leydin than it started. There's more of these 3 Kreen pulling through. That is going to go to Arkvasi's turn. Arkvasi is going to roll to hit. That is an 18. Absolutely hitting. That is an 18.
Oh my God.
That is absolutely hitting. And that is a 10, which is absolutely hitting.
Oh my God.
That's 12 damage to an additional 8 and an additional 12. Wait, was that two 12s? That's 24 damage? Damn!
Arkvasi, you are doing so good.
Oh my
And
god.
an addition. Okay, so with that, I believe that the 3 Kreen have dropped another damage dice.
Oh my God.
They are at 1d10 siege dice. That is going to go to the mysterious figure, and you hear a whistling. A loud, droning whistling that captures your attention. It steals your attention
Oh
away
my
from the
God.
fight.
I'm looking. Where am I looking?
As you look over towards the crevice of Leydin, you see a Grim plummeting as fast as humanly possible down into the pit. As on the surface, after he stopped hearing screaming in Leydin, he threw himself into the crevice. And you see, as demon wings emerge from Grimm's back, as he glides downwards and lands on the battlefield with a hefty metallic thud. As he glides and takes no damage.
God, what?
So that is it a bonus action to use this? So for context for the viewers, when he burst into the magic shop, he ripped open a case and pulled out a magic item, which he is using now. That is going to be an action, so he cannot do anything else. He is so heavy, he can't use these wings of flying to fly. He just glides very slowly. But he lands on the ground. Stella, that's your turn. You see a Grim land right in front of you and looks at you.
Oh,
Grim, I love.
He gives a thumbs up at you.
I love that stubborn bitch.
I'm bawling. Oh my God. In character and out of character. Okay. Newfound hope. Shillelagh.
Shillelagh, roll to hit.
Everything hurts.
Everything does hurt. Dirty 20, minus 2. Minus 2. 18 still hits. Roll your damage.
Oh my God.
Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Fuck him up.
13.
13?
Hope.
Stella, you take the shillelagh, you imbue it with your starry energy. You see as stars run across the circumference of this stick, and you slam it over the head of some of these Icarus wormlings. You see it goes soaring through the head of one of them and smacks on one of them, flinging it 10 feet as it spirals across the dirt floor. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes. Oh, Grim, I'm so happy to see you.
Stella, numbers are dying down so quickly right now. The battle is turning in your tides as you see 3 Kreen stand up pridefully for their kingdom. I'm only going to make one attack on you and one attack on a Grim. And one attack on Arkvasi.
Okay.
15 to hit you. 19 to hit a Grim. Almost a nat 20 to hit Arkvasi.
Oh.
However, the strike on Arkvasi misses. 6 damage to you, Stella.
Bring it.
4 damage to a Grim. And both of you, roll me what might be the last of the D20.
Oh my god. Ah!
Stella, the battle is in your favor. The 3 Kreen now outnumber the Wormlings. Roll me with advantage.
I got the same number.
Wow. Wow. Would you guys like to announce those for the listeners?
And I got a 14.
Yes, you did.
All right. So with that, the 3 Kreen are going to roll their 1D or their 2D20 because you guys are in the
Oh my
lead
God.
now.
Yes.
That is 10 damage. As you land here, as the 3 Kreen begin to cleave and cut and carve away at this mess, as they begin to clear up all of this violence, the numbers of the Icarus Wormlings have decreased to such a degree that you guys can count them with 2 hands. 2 hands. That is going to go to Arkvasi's turn. Arkvasi is going to roll his 2 strikes. That's an 8. That actually misses. That's an 18. That absolutely hits as a 24, which is 8 damage. You see as Arkvasi, huffing, keeled over on his blades, holding them hunched down across the ground. He stands up tall. His glimmering wings shine as they catch the light flowing through the tunnel of Leydin. I will not let my kingdom fall to the likes of you. Vaku, you were the protector of an old age. But I, Arkvasi, will protect this kingdom until my wings give out, until my body crumbles, until I am nothing more but dust on the wind and a memory spoken for the ages. And Arkvasi spirals the hooks in the air. He runs through the battlefield. He splits an astounding 8 of them with one fell slash.
Oh my god.
As he stands there, as ichor sprays against his body. The siege on Leydin comes to a close.
Yes.
The soldiers erupt in glorious battle cries, roaring and yelling towards the heavens. These yells echo through Leydin, not with fear and being under attack. They yell with pride that they have pulled through against the monstrous Vaku.
Oh my god.
You hear the echoing roars of the antiquarium, soldiers yelling as they have won. You hear yells from the housing district as they have won. And Akia, even from where you are, you hear as Leydin roars with a prideful sound. And you see as the giant 3 Kreen Varxie next to you. She yells just as loud, even louder than some of the levels below.
I know that's right.
And that is where we will end today's session.
Oh my god. Outro.
Outro!
Oh my god.
Thank you all for listening to this incredibly long and
Oh my god.
incredibly close battle.
Bro, I cried.
I was gonna. For once I did not want to roll.
I thought it was over. I thought it was over.
I hope you all enjoy. And I hope you
my
guys
God. continue
to listen.
Yes,
Share it
please.
with your friends. Don't share it with awful people. Again, we really need to rebel against our government. Like, let's.
The world is so scary.
The world is so
scary
fucked up right now. Fuck AI. Fuck corporations. You know it.
know the
We don't need
spiel.
to say it. You know the spiel. Hey, the Mario movie was pretty good. I liked it. I'm simple though. I'm simple. It was pretty good.
I'm just happy because Rosalina's there. That's all I care about. That's my wife.
Yeah, yeah. Horrible day for Yuri enjoyers.
Literally.
Horrible day for Yuri enjoyers. Anything you guys want to shout out? Anything that you've been enjoying recently?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Steel Ball Run! Netflix. No, I'm kidding. That situation's resolved. We're chill with Netflix now.
Yeah. I went to a conference this weekend and I enjoyed that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stickers.
Ooh, so
Got a lot of
many. I
stickers.
feel like a dragon with my treasure hoard.
So many stickers. A little horde. Thank you guys all for listening. Rate it a 5 stars and share it with your most treasured people, because we would love for them to enjoy our work. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
Have hope.
Have hope. Have hope.